Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. A very good evening to all those who have joined me through Facebook Live, as well as to those who have joined me through Zoom link. You are all welcome to my program, Meet the Winners. As you all know that I conduct every week this program where I bring from different walk of people from different walks of life, especially the academicians. And this week also I have brought with in front of you an academician who is of a very prominent scholar. He is eminently doing all of his works, may be social, nationals, and personals. All of these he has been doing fantastically throughout his career. Now he is with me, and I have brought you to introduce him in front of you. But the pattern or the format of this program has a little bit change over here. Today, I am going to give a brief account of his whole careers through the PowerPoint. And through the PowerPoint, I will be performing my format like asking him questions, and as well as at the end, I will be giving you all audience chances to ask question with him. So this is how the program will move on. So without any delay, I would like to introduce you to him. I introduce you to him through this PPT. So let us meet our today's guest, Professor Zahid Husain Khan. And let us move forward the glimpses from the journey of his academic life. As we know that in my format, always ask the question from the family background and childhood journey. So here is his childhood from where he from where he was. So Zahid Husain Khan was born on 27 June 1948 in the village Akrahra district, Siddharth Nagar, Uttar Pradesh. He did his early education from his home village. He obtained his BSc, MSc, MPhil, and PhD, all from Aligarh Muslim University. And here is a glimpse of his village where he used to live. So you can see that all the great person has somehow the connection from the villages, and it is village which has produced a lot of eminent scholars. And so he is also from the village. Now, from here, I will be asking a question to him that as I come to know that this village is near the border of Nepal. You have been living over there, and the idea of or your fascinations about the subject has started from the childhood. So I would like to request you, sir, with the introduction that you gave me a time. You have your valuable time. This is very difficult for me to manage to get you on this platform, but you agreed. You agreed to come over here. So I'm really very much thankful and delighted to introduce you. So my first question is, you just please give our audience information about how did you get the inspirations to choose the science as a subject, where I can see this is a book which you have written by your hand. So introducing your childhood, you can add this story to our audience. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Reyaz Ahmed Saab, for inviting me to this program. In fact, for the last 2 months, you have been inviting me, but because of one reason or other, I could not join it. Anyway, today it is a good day for me, as well as for a good day for you also.
Thank you.
We are meeting together in this program.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, as you have already said about my village, my village is just about 6 kilometers from the border of Nepal, and about 60 kilometers from Kapilvastu or Lumbini, where Gautam Buddha was born.
Oh,
and Faizabad or Ajodhya is also, I think, about 100 or 150 kilometers from our place. And also on the west, you see there is a famous place for the Jainis. So many spiritual people were born in that area. But nowadays, it is one of the backward districts of UP, they say. Anyway, I don't bother about that.
Okay. Sir, for your information, sir, Dr. Zafar Hassan has also joined us.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so in fact, you see in the village, normally in those days, there was no light at all, no electricity at all. Light was only the only source of light was lantern or lamp.
Yes.
And up to high school, I had not used any electricity because because my father was a lecturer of economics in a college in Kalia. And he did his MA in economics in 1950 from Aligarh Muslim University. So, but you see, so that was the situation. But you see, the environment was so clean in those days. Normally, you see, after the rainy season, the whole entire sky was very beautiful. See the clouds, clouds in the sky so beautifully that I remember sometime there was shape of elephant, and sometime I found in my childhood it has a different shape. So that was a good time in those days because environment was free of pollution and everything was very, very clear that we could see. And that is how we came much closer to nature as compared to nowadays. Children don't have any possibility of seeing thousands and thousands of stars in the night. And Himalayas is also about 20 kilometers from our place. And when there were rains, you see layer after layer of the Himalayas were visible from our village. And that looked very, very beautiful. When in the summer, there was some, you see, fire somewhere in the forest of Himalayas, then also we could see from our home place that there is some, you see, so it is how I came very close to nature. And after that, you see, you mentioned about the book that I had to write with my own hand. And you can show, can you show that slide?
Yes, yes, sure, sir.
Yeah, so it so happened that, you see, in our school, fortunately, it was not they called it madrasa, but it was not a usual type of madrasa because we studied all the subjects. That is Hindi, English, Urdu, very little Persian, Farsi, and also Arabic. So what happened in class 5th, they introduced science, and a teacher of mine, ours, he had only a single book available. That was published from Hyderabad, Deccan, in the time of Nizam. And he said that if you want, you can get it, copy it, because there was no, and in those days, there was no possibility of photocopy, of course. So I had to write in my own handwriting. First of all, you see, I had to visit some plants and cut it down, got it dried, made my own pen. Then I went to the shop and you see, and then brought some, you see, different types of colors for making ink. And it is how the book was finally written completely. And I also bound it. And still I remember the place where I did it.
I must appreciate that your handwriting was so beautiful. Many other people now cannot be able to write it, which you have written in at the age of, say, for example, 10 or 11, something like that. It's a beautiful handwriting. And okay, sir.
Thank you. So you see, in this, I have given only 2 pages of this. Science kya hai? What is science? And it has been explained so beautifully about the nature, about the colors, about the light, the entire beauty of the universe, the entire beauty of the world that we see around us. It is because of light. because we have eyes to see that light through which we see it. So, I mean, it is how the interest in light and science came. Sometimes I used to do experiments also based on the, you see, for example, still I remember there was a, you see, a small container. I filled it with water and boiled it, and finally it burst out. You see, and I did not know what is going to happen, and no one told me at that time that it is very dangerous. Now people, I think everyone knows that one should not do it. But in the villages, it was very difficult for anyone to know what I'm going to do and what is going to happen. So that is how my interest in science.
But sir, as you told, your father had been the professor of economics, and you have chosen to become a science student. So was there not any objection from your parent, or how did you manage to convince them?
No, in fact, up to as I told you, up to class 6, I studied in my village school, and where all the subjects, science, mathematics, everything was taught. And after that, I went to my school. My father was an economics teacher, and he was also my class teacher for 3 years. So it is how that, I mean, so since I was very close to nature, so I think.
No, and please meet yourself, please. All
Hello?
of you are requested to meet, please. 1 second, sir. All the audience, please mute yourself. Oh, okay, sir. Sorry, sir. Please continue.
Yeah. So you see, my father was, although he was in economics, but he had given full freedom. Whatever I like, I can do it. So he wanted that I should, I mean, prepare for IAS and so on after BSc, and therefore he wanted a different line. But I had, after high school itself, I had chosen physics.
Okay.
And in fact, in those days, you see, anyone who got in the league first division, automatically was he or she was selected for engineering. But I did not apply for engineering at all, though I got first division.
Yeah, at that time it was fascination, doctor, that if somebody got the first class, he will naturally going to go to the engineering. That was fascination. It is still going on like that. But that time there was some kind of value for the general science group, physics, chemistry, mathematics also, because there are many people are opting for becoming professor and teachers and so on. But engineering was still dominant at that time as well. But you managed to choose physics. Then, as I see from your description that you did your BSc, MSc, MPhil, all through Aligarh Muslim University. So could you please just tell us something about your education in Aligarh Muslim University all these years? And you did your PhD as well, so a little bit some information about your educational career while living in Aligarh Muslim University. Then we will move further out of this and then come to your professional place. So little bit about your staying in Aligarh Muslim University.
Yeah, in Aligarh, in those times, pre-university, after high school, it was pre-university course, and that was part of the university course and not the school course. And after 1 year of pre-university, I joined BSc, and it was basically honors course. And like today, I mean, nowadays, everyone has 3 years BSc in most of in all the universities. And after that, you see, I joined, MPhil was compulsory in those times. In Aligarh. So I had to complete MPhil first of all, and then I complete PhD. While you see, after MSc, I wanted to choose biophysics. Because I had some interest in bio. I don't know why, but you see, only 2 students were ready to join bio, and they needed 5 students at least to,
this
I mean,
requirement here.
yeah, requirement because teacher will become engaged, and I think for 2 students, 1 teacher is not
Ratio, teacher
yeah.
versus, yeah.
So I had to join spectroscopy, and that was not, I was not willing for that, but I had to join it. And my supervisor, PhD supervisor, was Dr. B.N. Khanna. And he was, in fact, the disciple of Professor Venkata Sarlu, who was a great, physicist.
Yeah.
He was the student of Professor Asundi. Professor Asundi is the father of spectroscopy in India. And he was doing the same level of work as Hertzberg was doing for which Hertzberg was awarded Nobel Prize. So, I mean, very good. I got good teachers in Aligarh because they were very good. And our head of department was Professor Reyaz in those times.
Yes.
And in 1972, I got a position in, there was some leave vacancy in the department of applied sciences, engineering department. And I was selected for that. When I met the head of department of applied sciences, he said, it is better to complete your PhD first, otherwise, I mean, you are going to suffer. And so he was a friend of my father also. So I thought that his advice is good, so I did not join it. And then in the meantime, Professor Reyaz gave me a postdoctoral fellowship. And that postdoctoral fellowship was meant that after completing my PhD, for 6 months, I have to go to IIT Kanpur for doing research, postdoctoral research in laser physics. And then for 6 months in Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. That was the condition of the fellowship. That is, and that was 3 years before I got PhD. So that was reserved for me. But in the meantime, Professor Reyaz advertised some post of lecturer, and he wanted that I should join it. So I had to apply, although the date was over, but his office said, no, you have to apply because he was asking. So finally, what happened, that since I got this fellowship in advance, and which was to be operative only from 1975 onwards. So I did not join anywhere. But in the meantime, Professor Reyaz left Aligarh because of some reason. And I completed my PhD, submitted my PhD. There was some advertisement in Jamia Millia Islamia, Delhi. I applied there. In January 76, I joined there as a lecturer.
So, sir, you joined as a lecturer, then you became professor in 1980. Which year you became professor?
1984.
1984. So, if you just count the year of your staying in Jamia Millia Islamia,
1994. Sorry,
1994. So, almost 39 years you served over there. During your stay, you have done not only teaching, you have done a lot of administrative works. You have done over there. You have created so many records, and you have been considered to be one of the the only person who knows the regulations and laws of the university very, very much, which is still popular. The people who doesn't know come and ask you about the rules and regulation of the Jamia Millia University. So I would like to ask you the first question regarding your administrative job. What kind of job you have been doing, and what actually you have created over there, which is still continuing. And I have also come to know about that the way in collaboration with the ICT, you have done a really tremendous work over there. And somebody told me like this work of ICT has given a lot of ranking appraisal to the university itself. So could you just play a little bit, explain about all these, your academic administrative skill plus your this ICT and further your laws and regulations, all these three, just try to bunch it out and, and explain all to our audience. This is very important, sir. Everybody doesn't do all these kinds of work. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, before that, you see, I was heavily engaged in research.
Yes.
And in the meantime, I had to take over as the head of Department of Physics, and which of course took some of my time, because I have to spend time for the department also in those, because of that. And I got you see, one thing I should also mention, that after joining Jamia, within 2-3 years, I got a postdoctoral fellowship from DAD, Deutsche Akademische Austauschdienst, German Academic Exchange Service. There were only 10 fellowships in 7 subjects. So I was fortunate enough to get awarded that fellowship, DAD fellowship. So 1 year I was in the University of Munich, and 1 year in the Free University Berlin. And before that, I had to complete a 4 months compulsory German language course in a Goethe Institute. And at that time, I got, you see, equipment granted from Germany. And that was 66,000 German mark in those times, which is 66,000 euro, you can say. I mean, very, handsome amount, about 40-50 lakhs. And then, you see, my research was going on well. So after returning to Germany, first of all, I thought that, you see, I should start using the same technique what they do in Germany, but I will not go further in this, because first of all, I will answer to your other question.
Yes.
You see, my research was going on well, but one day, our Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General M.A. Zaki from Hyderabad, he called me he telephoned me that I want that you should take over as Director of Computer Center. I said that, you see, next, I was not there. So next day I telephoned him, it was Sunday, that I have already completed 2 years and 11 months of my headship, and the time has been wasted because I could not do much research due to this. So I don't want to take any such job. So he said, no, meet me on Monday, and inshallah, you will do very good. And you see, I went to his office. He said, you see, if you are doing research, you are going to help yourself only. It will be beneficial to you only. If you do something for the university, it will be beneficial for the entire university and entire community.
Very good.
So because of that, I want that you should take over as director of the center. So at that time, it was Computer Center. It was 1998. So I took over it, and it was, I think, February 1998, yes. And then I got another Vice Chancellor, Sayyid Shahid Mehdi, who had been in United Nations for 14 years. He was also a good IS officer. He had worked as good IS officer, and he was also very good in literature and very knowledgeable person. He told me that, you see, I am also interested in IT. You are also interested in IT, so you can meet me anytime. You can ask me anything. And first of all, what he did, he said that, you see, your building is very small. It is not fit for this, for IT. So what he did, he thought that because the university did not have money in those days, because funding was very, very little in the year 2000. So he brought a chancellor who was a businessman from Bombay, Fakhruddin P. Khorakewal. And he gave 2 crores of rupees for the building from his own home.
Mashallah.
And in those time, of course, in the year 2002, it was quite handsome amount. So it is how we started. And we had set up within 3 years, we had set up a very good, laboratories, many good laboratories, and campus-wide network was established. Our website was developed indigenously by the university people themselves, involving fine arts, mass communication, for language, for the history. We have take help of the Professor Mushul Hassan, who later became Vice Chancellor. He was a professor of history. So, all the people were, you see, collected from different departments, and we completed it. Then we had our management information system that was developed with the help of a company and with the coordination of our center. And we had continuous training of the staff also. That was very, very important.
University staff.
Yeah, because unless staff is, non-teaching staff becomes, efficient, working, familiar, because initially they thought that, you see, because of this, they are going to lose their job. So we had to explain to them, it is to facilitate your work and not to, it is not going to harm you. So there was continuous progress. And by that time, we inaugurated, when everything was ready, we got it inaugurated from Assistant Director General of UNESCO.
Yes, very good.
Professor Abdul Wahid Khan, who was former Vice Chancellor of IGNOU. And he was based in Paris. So he was coming to India. So I requested him to inaugurate. And he came and saw the laboratories. And he said that it is, tremendous effort you people have done. In such a short time, you have developed a very good, laboratories.
Yes, sir. As you have already told that, you have got, and I've seen in your brief information of biodata, you have published more than 64 research paper, which is peer-reviewed national and international. In physics, writing a paper in physics, I should say that it's more harder than writing a paper in other subject. Okay, so because it is mostly lab oriented, so there are many students over here. Okay, watching to you on the Facebook, as well as they have joined you here. So could you please just a little bit information about that? How did you manage to do all these research? Okay, and how you will suggest the other to come into this line, because there are many things is left to be done in physics, and how to let them create interest into the physics, because nowadays it is waning. People are now going to the technology and engineering, not doing the general science research. So just 2 or 3 lines in brief, just let us motivate them through your experience. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, as I told you earlier that I had a lot of, you see, since I did specialization in MSc in spectroscopy, and later that was part of PhD also. And for doing PhD, we have to develop we had to do some theoretical work. For that, we developed our own programs ourselves. So the same program was used in research. It was the way in Aligarh it was being done. So, by that time, when I joined Jamia, because when I was in Aligarh, I think 1 or 2 or 3 lectures were given in lasers in those times. But here, you see, I got the opportunity to have federation arrangement. Our university had federation arrangement with International Center for Theoretical Physics, where Professor Abdul Salam was the director.
Yes, correct.
That center. So, and we got the opportunity to go to Trieste, Italy for more than 3 or 4 times, and it was possible to interact with experts in the field of lasers and spectroscopy. So it is how my interest further developed, and the students whom I used to teach, you see, when I became the registrar, when I came to the administration, I said that I will take one paper only, one paper of laser physics at the MSc level, because there was so much of work in the Center for Information Technology. So during lunch hour from, you see, from 2:30, normally from 2 to 2:45, that was the time, or 2:45, 2:30 to 3. That was the time when, you see, I was slightly relaxed. Just after having short lunch for 5 minutes lunch, I had some time. So I always took classes when I was the registrar. Initially, I was registrar for 3 years. And then after that also, I had to take the responsibility of being registered for six months more. But I never left my students to such teachers or maybe guest teachers, because I thought that they will not be able to manage well. And in fact, there was one more thing from DARD, you see, German Academic Exchange Service, since 1985. I have been getting 200 euro books costing 200 euro every year, free of cost. But they should be of German publishers. So I had a lot of at least 20 books to teach physics and these lasers and spectroscopy, laser physics, laser spectroscopy, and so on. So the best I knew about lasers and laser spectroscopy that I delivered to the students. And still, when I meet my former students, they always say that I still remember those lectures.
Oh, very good.
When Dr. Nukul Parashar, who's the director of Vigyan Prasar, you know him very well. He is one of my former students, and also said that you should write some book on spectroscopy, because still I remember when you used to teach it. And one more thing you said, your question was about university laws. You see, what happened, there was used to be ordinance committee, and the senior most dean of the faculty was the chairman. But you see, the deans go on changing.
Yes.
However, that, you see, there was, sometimes the same issue was not being taken up when the next dean came. So in the time of Professor Mushirul Hassan, it was decided that there should be a standing committee for Act, Statute, and Ordinances. So, and he made me because I was involved right from beginning in the ordinances of the university. So he made me the chairman of that committee. So for 6-7 years, I was the chairman of the committee of the Statute, Act and Ordinances, and we framed the whole entire examination rules, which were, you see, rather in a very bad shape. Similarly, on the academic part also, in the courses, there used to be listing of courses haphazardly, and it was very difficult for anyone to find out, to add or delete or whatever it is, the courses.
To set it right.
Yeah, so I mean, we brought everything in order in 6 years time. And every month we had a meeting of ordinance committee, and most 50% of agenda items used to be, you see, related to university ordinances. Finally,
very good, very good. Sir, actually, we have a time constraint. So now I'll go directly to the main, one of the most important, your engagement with International Year of Light. Okay, yeah. Could you please just, here I can see, I can see over here that Professor Khan was also nominated as a member of the steering committee of the International Working Group on Ibn al-Haytham as a part of the UNESCO initiative from 2016 to 2020. Also, you have been, for your active engagement in promoting the International Day of Light, the UNESCO in 2021 has included you in the list of its Light alumni and the founding signatory of the Trust in Science campaign, which I can see over here, which I can see over here that you have been engaged. So could you please just give a brief description of all these two places where I have been engaged in, and how did you manage to do all what was required to be done. So over to you, sir.
Yeah, you see, I retired from the university in 2013, June.
Yes.
And then the then Vice Chancellor gave me re-employment for 3 more years after 65 years. I was not willing to take it, but you see, since the Vice Chancellor wanted it, that I should be there, so I had to take it. But after about 10 days time, he took over as the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi. So you see, the things were changing, but for 1 year and 6 months, I continued to take up the job. But in 2014, when I learned that UNESCO has, you see, is going to celebrate International Year of Light, and by one day I received a letter from a professor in Paris that would you like to become a member of the International Committee on Ibn al-Hassam? He was the coordinator of that committee. He is Professor Azizuddin Budriva. His name is there. And he just asked me, would you like to become? I said, yes, I have no problem because I know the work of Ibn al-Hassam and so on. So, and then he said that, you see, in the International Year of Light, I see, he might have seen the, you see, website. He said, there is only one person right now, but there can be more than 2 persons. Would you, if I recommend your name, would you have any objection? I said, no. So he recommended my name to UNESCO. And the next day, I got an offer from UNESCO as the national contact for India for the International Year of Light. So it is how it is started.
Now I think this is 3 or 4 years. In 2019, you started right now. You also celebrated every year this International Year of Light. Could you just give us a little bit more information, which year you celebrated, and did you celebrate also this year or not? So just give a brief description to our audience, and how it was, who participated. So all these little bit description about your International Year of Light related questions. Okay, so over to you, sir.
So after International Year of Light was ended, the Ibn al-Hassam International Working Group, that was also going to end. And then Professor Azizuddin Budriva thought that there should be a society. So finally, he registered a society in Paris, Ibn al-Hassam Lisa International Society. Lisa means Light, History, Science, and Philosophy.
Yes.
So light and applications. So that was, you see, Lisa International Society. So in fact, I thought that the portrait of Ibn al-Hassam, which I used to see, were not, I mean, good. So I requested the Dean Faculty of Fine Arts in my university to make a portrait of Ibn al-Hassam. So he spent quite a lot of time, and he gave me, he made the portrait of Ibn al-Hassam and gave me, and I presented it to the, Professor Budriva, who was the coordinator of International Working Group. And that, you see, society is still there, but it is not functional because of shortage of funds nowadays. Now, when the International Year of Light was held, it was found that according to UNESCO, United Nations has a number of International Years of Light, but there was, in the world, there was not so much enthusiasm as in the case of International Year of Light, because more than, I think, 130 countries had participated, 140, I think 140 countries had participated in it, and more than 13,000 events were organized throughout the world. So UNESCO thought that why not we should have International Day of Light also. So in 2017, they decided to celebrate International Day of Light from
16 to
2018 onwards, and 16 May was chosen for this purpose. 16 May was chosen because the first laser was developed or fired on 16th of May by T.H. Memon. Although T.H. Memon's name was, you see, went for Nobel Prize twice, but he did not get it because, I mean, but he was the first person who got it. And after that, you see, in the same December, Ali Jawan made the helium neon laser. And so on, and after that, you see, there were different types of lasers. So in 2019, I went to, on the invitation of International Day of Light, I went to Trieste, Italy, and I attended their event that was on education. Education because internet is because of light. If there is no light, there is no light, there is no communication and there is no internet.
Correct.
So, I mean, after the coming of internet, education throughout the world has, you see, developed a lot and got
very
maximum
fast
benefit from that. So then in 2020, I proposed, you see, some events, because as a national note, generally there are 100 national notes throughout the world from different
notes.
national note from UNESCO. So I am one of them, and they retained me throughout. And then in 2020, Maulana Azad National Urdu University. Dr. Aslam Parvez, in a meeting with Gyan Prasad, I told him, and he immediately agreed. And I think within 3-4 days, it was, I mean, a program was, planned by those people, and it was successfully done. Then in 2021, then just after that, you see, your COVID-19 started. And in 2021, of course, there was a lot of problem. So I suggested to UNESCO that we should organize a program on, you see, poetry, because United Nations, UNESCO is also, working on, you see, they want that we should do something for culture, science, culture, and all those things. So because of that, you see, we organized an event where science, poetry, art, and culture was in part of that. So that was 2021. Then another program was organized by this Aligarh group, this promotion of science, Dr. Abdul Muiz Shams and Professor Zaheer Hassan. They are heading that group. And then we organized an event there also that was about light and vision in 2021. So 2 events were organized in 2021. This year, I approached a number of, you see, schools and universities. Aligarh, in the Department of Physics, Aligarh also, they organized one event. One event, Jamia Millia Islamia also organized. And 3 events I proposed from Zaheer Science Foundation. And one of the events in which you were also present, that was organized, that was a workshop, and full day workshop. And that was our first experience of organizing such a full day online virtual workshop, where exactly from 10:30 to 5:30, 7-hour program. And that was very well organized. And 3-4 days back, 4-5 days back, the newsletter of the UNESCO for 2023 has come up. And from throughout the world, I think there are about 69 countries, but only our workshop reporting is found there.
Yeah, this is great. This is great, sir. But very, very, very well said. All these things, sir. But could you just please let us know that through this program, how the general public, in the students, university, and the country as a whole getting benefit? Because this is very important for celebrating any day. It is related with some kind of intention programs behind. So just please, in one word or two word, tell what is the main idea behind celebrating International Day of Light. That this is very important for the listener to know about. Yeah.
Main idea behind organizing this, because the importance of light is known to everyone.
Yes.
But people generally don't realize, everyone does not realize that how light is important, how laser light is important. For example, nowadays you take any machine, any medical machine, without light, you cannot have any machine. If you talk about, you see, imaging techniques, that is also about MRI. MRI cannot be possible without light. Any imaging technique is not possible. After coming of lasers, you know, different types of surgeries are being performed, and with so precision. For example, you see, earlier for eye surgery, they used to have nanosecond pulses, laser they used. Then after that, picosecond pulses, then femtosecond pulses, and nowadays attosecond pulses are being used. And in 2018, I mean, two scientists were awarded Nobel Prize for attosecond laser pulses experiments in 2018. And that is how, you see, and they sent, in fact, a patient to a medical hospital, and they said, which laser did you use? I mean, they said that we are using this attosecond laser, 10 raised to power minus 18 second pulse, very, very short pulse. So, I mean, nowadays, different types of, you see, techniques have become available because of this light and light sources, and also because of lasers, so many things. So public should know about the advantages of this and appreciate how much help you can extend to others. How can you can make everything, I mean, accessible to everyone. So for that, you see, first of all, knowledge is very, very important. Transformation of knowledge is very, very important. Conveying knowledge is, sending knowledge is very, very important. And for that purpose, schools are also being encouraged to do it. Correct. This year, I invited someone from a village in Bihar, whom I knew by chance 15 years back. And I contacted him. He did not know about International Day of Light. So I trained him how to apply for that and how to get, I mean, their event on their website posted. And then, you see, finally, when the report, I think 2 months back, when the report was being prepared by UNESCO, International Day of Light, the chairman of the International Committee sent me to, I mean, that report, and said that, you see, from India, we have chosen 2 events which are very innovative. One was of that Kainat International School.
In Bihar.
In Bihar. From Kako, some Kako.
Jahanabad.
Jahanabad. So he said that if you like to amend something, you can do it and send me back. So it was all right. So it is how I think students are being encouraged. The other thing, you see, what I did for promotion of Urdu or languages in UNESCO. Earlier, you see, there are so many schools, madrasas, and so on. And if the logo is in English, they don't feel very close to you.
Yeah, correct.
So you see, on my request, UNESCO agreed to have Urdu logo in Urdu. For the first time, the logo in Urdu was used in the certificate by this Jahanabad school.
Yes.
And they said that, you see, parents and students were very, very happy to see that logo was in English, Hindi, as well as in Urdu, because they were studying other 3 languages.
Yes. Sir, as I know that you are also engaged with Zaheer Science Foundations. So yes. Regarding Zaheer Science Foundation, actually does the science and technological works they promote, and they try to organize some programs and function through this one. So a brief information about this will be helpful for the audience to know what actually Zaheer Science Foundation is doing and how you are engaged over there. What are you doing over there? So could you please a little bit, because we are running short of time, so I just give a brief description to wind up the interview. So over to you, sir.
Zaheer Science Foundation was established 50 years back. From now 52 years back. And at that time, very senior scientists from CSIR, Council of Scientific Industrial Research, they thought that we should have such type of foundation because Dr. Hussain Zaheer was a freedom fighter and very good scientist of those times. And he was very much liked by people, I mean, scientists, other scientists. So they established in his own lifetime, that was established. And he also became the chairman of that committee at some stage of time. So they were in policy making, science policy making. The main purpose in those times was science policy and innovation. Innovation was added later, I think about 5 years back. And now you see, they can also have popularization of science, ICT in education, all those things are covered under the Zaheer Science Foundation. I was in their governing council for the last 4 years, but somehow I had to take up the as co-chairman, also of that organization.
Okay, so we have actually tried to reach to your every activities that you have gone through your 60 years of age, but it's difficult. But finally, I would like to ask you some what suggestion and message you would like to give to our students who are watching to you regarding physics. And just a message from your side as an expert in physics. Just pass on your idea. What you would like them to do so far as physics is concerned.
You see, physics, I mean, that is a very difficult question, of course, because it all depends upon the liking. And if you have a good teacher, you can make the students like the subject. If you are a good mathematician and good teacher of mathematics, then students will be attracted towards mathematics. So it all depends upon how it is being taught.
Correct.
You see, nowadays, pure physics students are not getting jobs very easily.
Yes.
Because everything has been taken over by this engineering and technology. Because you see, electronics was part of science, physics earlier, but now electronics engineering has come up. And you see, from the departments of physics, electronics is gone. But you see, if you consider basic science, then electronics is very, very, very important.
Yes.
Applied electronics comes later. But you see, this thing is not being realized sometimes by the governments and by many people. That, I mean, basic research is very, very important. Unless basic research is there, in any subject, you cannot progress further. No one knew that, you see, this development of electricity will bring so many, I mean, useful applications throughout the world. All the industries are running on electricity. So
it's life, sir. Electricity is considered to be life.
Yeah.
You just take off light, life is gone. So it is so important. Well said, sir. I think we are now reached to the time 8:25. It is a high time to invite my audience to ask question to Professor Zahid Husain Saab. So anyone from the audience, I can see Dr. Qazi Azhar Saab is also there, and Dr. Zafar Hassan Saab is there. Please, could you please come forward and ask some question to Professor Zahid Husain Khan Saab. Over to you, sir. Come on, come forward. Qazi Saab, sir, are you there?
Assalamu alaikum. As you could see,
Yeah.
As you could see, I'm driving.
Oh. Okay.
So definitely, I'd like to interact. I have always a lot of respect for Professor Zahid Saab, and he is one of the prime researcher and professors who is internationally known. And Alhamdulillah, you did a good job to interview him. And let me reverse back. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You put me on a spot. So, but anyhow, so he's. I admire his Urdu first of all. Look at his. He wrote with his own hand the science book in. I don't know whether our computer can print in that way. Wonderful.
Yeah.
The language control he has. And one thing I always tell, put your children in Urdu medium. They will not only have a good vocabulary in Urdu, but also they will improve a lot in English, and they will have control over English or any other language, Arabic, Persian, and all those. So but anyhow, तो थोड़ा सा उर्दू में भी बोल लेता हूँ. तो ज़ाहिर साहब you made my day. Basically, I should say he made my day.
जरूर
जी.
आप क्लियर कर रहे हैं इसलिए जो है.
Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. You decided to talk while you are traveling. It's really a risky job. But if you are comfortable, you can ask. Otherwise, I will.
Right. One thing which I would like him to, as he just now said, that in physics is such an important subject, and our students should pay attention to physics, because now even if you are a biology student and if you want to do medicine, a lot of stuff is in physics, right from the artificial intelligence to prosthesis making, like joints, making cardiology, and we have these different machines. And as he already mentioned about laser, my God, it's a lot of gadgets. And Divanchi, which is a kind of, I can be here in Flint, I can operate in India by surgery. Yes. So physics is amazingly involved in all the subjects. So it overlaps all the subjects. We have to give importance. And another thing I wanted to tell the students that, hardly there are few physics PhDs. On Ghalib, there will be 100 PhDs.
Right.
And mathematics almost nil. They have to focus on these, and these are the future. Our future innovative science evolves from physics and mathematics.
Correct.
So that's all I want to say. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया ज़ाहिद साहब. आपने प्रोफेसर साहब बड़ी खुशी हुई आपको सुनकर. मैं यहाँ थोड़ी देर के लिए रुक गया हूँ. अच्छा इजाज़त दीजिए.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. You rightly said physics is everywhere. There is a biophysics, there is a physical chemistry, there is a mathematical physics. So where is not physics? Where there is an inanimate matter, there is physics. And the life, the human body, if you just take out the breathings, and then you got inanimate matter. So physics is in the whole life. So nobody can deny the importance of physics. But problem is that the development of the technology is actually, it is just like the big giant is taking away the small giant. Like this scenario is happening. But later on, this will go away, because it will come back again with rigorous power, and people will look for and start studying physics, general subject like physics, chemistry, and mathematics. So anybody else from the audience, could you please come forward to ask your question? Junaid Akhtar. Would you like to ask question to Professor Zahid Husain Khan Saab, Professor of Physics? There is anyone else? Is there anybody else? Okay, so now I would like to conclude the program with my
Just
conclusion.
1 minute.
Yes, is there anyone?
1 minute.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I need.
Yes, sir.
You see, whatever we have been doing, or I have been doing, my wife has been of great support.
Oh,
And she is also a physicist,
yeah.
and she also did her PhD in physics.
Yeah.
And she
Oh,
was
mashallah.
in the Department of Science and Technology of the Ministry of Science and Technology in India, in the government of India.
मैं
And
बोल रही पेमेंट जो है चलो वापस 1 2 3 5 कार्ड का पेमेंट गया उससे बोल को वो कार्ड तो कैंसिल करे नहीं
Sir, please put your mic on, sir, because I muted other your one. You put your mic on, sir. Your mic on. But in hurry, sir, you put your mic on. Sir, you put your mic on. It is muted. It's muted. Yeah. Okay, sir. Continue.
Okay.
Continue.
so, in fact, she has been a great support
Hmm.
because we used to discuss always, you see, her problems and my problems.
Hmm.
She was in the Ministry of Science and Technology, as I told you. She was scientist G advisor, and she is very expert in. She was very expert in developing weather models or atmospheric models using supercomputers. So, so because you see, if you have support, some type of support, you see, within the house, that also becomes very, very important. That is what I wanted to mention.
Yeah, it's all depends, sir. 1 plus 1 become 2, but when it is bonding is more, one other side of 1 become 11, sir. So 1 and 1 together become 11. And also, sir, I have just now derived an idea to make, God has created everything in pair. So I am just taking one and relating the other to make it one. Like, for example, there is a light. I don't say there is a darkness. I say there is no light. So you are using only light. So because they are so related, so you can use only one. So is the case, wife and husband. When you talk about the husband, wife is already included into it without being questioned. So thank you very much, sir. You at the end, I would like to thank all the audience who joined my program. And I'm really, sir, thankful to you that you agreed to give your time from you have been already busy now doing some work for the Vigyan Prasar. You have been engaged for publishing your some kind of the book over there, and you managed to find time. I could not manage time to ask you about the Vigyan Prasar, your engagement over there, because of the time concentrate. Sometime later on, the Vigyan Prasar will come into the discussion. So not at this time. So now I would like to conclude to a message for the to take away message for the audience. Number one, from the discussion to the Professor Zahid Husain, one thing is clear that all the great people, majority of the great people are coming from the village. So village and city, there is no description in creating an eminent scholar. So one thing is, this is a message to take away. Don't feel bad that you are having the living in a place where there is nothing this, nothing that. No. All these things are sorry. All these things are secondary. The main thing is that you should have a fire in your belly to get educated. So this is one of the message I will pass on through him. The second thing is that there are many professors who just be confined to their own career. They never get engaged in social activities, also in administrative activities. And sometimes they don't get chance, sometimes they don't want to take. But I have seen, and Professor Zahid Husain that he was an active researcher, then he became a very good, excellent administrator, and also he has been doing some social work by being engaged in an International Year of Light, Zaheer Science Foundations, and also with the Vigyan Prasars. So he has not gone back when the demand from the society and on the national level is asked from him. He always came forward and have been accepting those responsibility and challenges. So thank you very much, sir, for this. Finally, what I would like to say that in all these cases, all these development, all these what he has achieved, there have been a constant, continuous effort he has been making. So obviously through his life journey, one thing is clear, that if you decide yourself and make continuous effort, okay, without just make your plan and keep on doing efforts, you will also be succeeded in your life, like what Professor Zahid Husain is at this point of time. So this was my last remark, and finally, once again, I will thank all my audience who are here, and I will be sending you the link for my channel in which I will upload these videos. Okay, so I would like to request you to subscribe, likes, and share my channel when I will upload video to you. So with this note, I'm thanking again. I would like to go off the air. Thank you very much, sir, for all of what you have given to discuss with me, and you have enlightened to our audience. Zohra, do you want to say something, Zohra Jabi?
नहीं बस मैं शुक्रिया अदा कर अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैं सरकार आपका शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ.
Thank you very much. So here I declare officially from my side the program is over. Thank you very much once again. Allah Hafiz. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Welcome.
I will be now making stop live stream and stop recording.